Hi, everybody, and welcome to Percentile Vice. I am your keeper of arcane lore, Emily. I am joined by Steve and John and Hannah, and we are playing through our homebrew Call of Cthulhu campaign, The Children of Cthulhu. Guys, you guys just finished the chapter Laughing at the Wind.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys just went through and did some things down in a temple and found some scary shit and fought some shit. Ran a lot, had some bouts of
diarrhea.
Yeah. We had some issues with sanity. Yes. We had some angry outbursts. And if you want to see everything that happened,
Also.
and that's just me. Those are just the things I did. But if you want to see everything that happened, you can check out our YouTube channel where you can check all of our previous chapters and get caught up. It's been a really fun campaign so far. Like I don't know about y'all, but I've enjoyed it seriously. I don't know.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
Okay, I was going to say, because you guys are really helping me sell this. Thanks a lot. So you guys just got back to Iggy's house, and have retired for the night. It's the next morning. On a meta level, you guys got to do some character development, got to increase some skills, get some luck, get some sanity, because that's kind of how Call of Cthulhu runs, that, when you get to the end of like a quote-unquote chapter or big event, whatever, at my discretion, I can let you guys do some stuff. Now you guys are a little more badass, a little more good at things, and that's good. So, it is a bright and pretty warm morning at Iggy's home. The floor is yours. What would you like to do?
So, Kara, do you think, I don't know, it seems like we ought to check in with Daddy Statham there, but I was thinking, maybe you make the call.
Yeah, I'll make the call, and then I will get you guys set up on a plane back, and I will be heading to America.
What you gonna be doing in the good old U.S. of?
I have to find Alex, my friend.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned him. What's, is he all right? What's up?
I fucked up somewhere, somehow, and someone has him. I don't know who, don't know where they're at, but I gotta find him. It's the least I can do.
Well, this ain't something you gotta do alone, right? I mean, kind of feeling a team vibe growing here over the last few weeks. Maybe I can help. I still got my New York detective's badge on me. Flash that around in some places. Where's Alex's home?
Where is Alex's home?
Where do you?
Something I should know.
Well, yeah. Where do you want it to be?
There's 50 states, Hannah. Just choose one.
Just choose one. Any state would do.
Roll a percentile vice. 0 and 1 is Alabama. 2 and 3 is Arkansas.
Oh, God.
I think Alaska.
I think he's in Los Angeles myself, but he could have been in Chicago.
Yeah, where do you guys want to visit? No. Let's do Virginia.
Virginia. Okay.
Oh, close to like Langley and CIA headquarters and stuff, NSA, all that shit.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, so he lives in a small town in Virginia. Not too small, maybe like medium size-ish. Not a big bustling town, but it's got a Walmart.
Yeah.
So there's at least 300 people in the town.
At least.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll call in and just let them know. I mean, what about you, B-Money?
Seems like unless there's pressing issues on the call to Statham, I may as well go with you.
Hey, listen, Kara, whatever they say, and, wherever they're going to send us, just tell them, yeah, we're going that way. And then, we'll book flights through Virginia and get there. And we'll just take a quick excursion and they don't have to know anything about it. So, don't let them talk you out of this. Yeah. Friends are friends, man.
Okay. Gonna call up the good old uncle.
Okay. So when you call to your uncle's estate, the secretary lets you know that he's out for business this morning, but she'll patch you through to, the base of operation people who brought in all your equipment and all that stuff in the beginning, and let you talk to them. And they let you know that they're currently not working on any leads. They're going through and kind of doing cleanup on some of y'all's excavates, little media control, making sure we keep good ties with different governments, things like that. They're doing a few cleanups. They're currently working on some unpleasant rumors around Mexico, Hidalgo.
Yeah.
Assuming that you guys have something to do with that, and that it's best you guys, maybe don't hang around in Mexico for too long, in and out. But they don't have a problem with you going to America currently, as long as you guys stay in communication, stay out of trouble, stay out from underneath, local law enforcement, that kind of stuff. And if something were to come up, they would reach out to you, and they would expect the same from you, that if you were to come across new information, that you would relay that to them.
Sounds perfect.
So, what was the name of the woman who arrived at Statham's just as we were about to leave and brought in all her goons, and they were setting up a bunch of computers? She was a mole at Nafram.
The Sparrow.
The Sparrow. Yeah, sorry, just remembered when I started picturing Statham's mansion again.
So the Sparrow is still on premises because she's off of assignment currently and effectively laying low.
Cool.
Yeah. So, you have clearance. They said they'll send you some ticket information, things like that, to fly you into whatever it is the big airports in Virginia are. I don't know them off the top of my head. Somewhere in Virginia. And they'll, set you guys up to have a vehicle waiting for you at the rental car place, that kind of thing. In true Statham manner ways.
I hope it's a big black SUV.
So,
what about a big black Cadillac?
Big black Cadillac.
A BBC.
Only if it's got
Fucking Christ.
Oh my God.
It's like, did you guys notice that right up until this moment, John was like, just kind of, and then the minute he got to make that caliber of joke, he's just perched right up. It's like he just waits for his moment to debut his really twisted sixth sense of humor.
I was about to say, I'd go with a big black Cadillac, but only if it had the suicide doors. And thank God I didn't say that before he came out with the BBC.
Yeah, godly.
All right, so I guess we're gonna go check in with Iggy, see if we can't get a ride back to the airport. Isn't that where he picked us up at?
Yes, he did pick you up at the airport. Mm-hmm. Well, there was a driver that picked you up and brought you to Iggy's home. So you guys, if you want to go into the main house out of your little, detached apartment, you certainly can. You can see from your apartment that the house is already up and going, like most mornings that you've seen over there.
Yeah, I'm going to then pack up all my stuff so it's obvious when I walk into the house that we're leaving.
Okay. What about you two? Getting everything packed up and going down too?
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. As you guys enter the home, a lot of familiar smells, eggs, fresh tortillas, coffee.
Iggy's teenage son.
Yeah. It's, pretty early in the morning. Everybody's getting ready for work, getting ready for school. There's a lot of cooking going on. You notice that a lot of the aunts and uncles don't seem to be present. It's kind of middle of the work week, so, it's not as bustling. But there's definitely a couple of them that are still in the kitchen and, insist you take a to-go plate. Iggy comes up and, oh, we leaving so soon? And you just got here. You've only been here for like 2 days. I haven't even gotten to show you like around town, take you shopping, any of the things you wanted to do. We haven't done. All we wanted to see is Tula and he has like a large bandage on his head. He's like, and I wasn't even there for most of it.
Hey, geez, Iggy, we really appreciate your hospitality and taking us to Tula. That was quite the place. You were right. But no, we just got word from Statham Corp. We're needed on another important business trip, so we'd love to stick around and hang out with your family because this place is awesome. It's great. We appreciate it, but we really got to be going. So, hey, don't forget to check in on Jorge's family for me.
Oh, certainly, yes. I've got your letter for them, and I will make sure that I check in with his family. I suppose I should get you a vehicle back to the airport then. When is your flight? Is it soon?
I don't know. Kara's holding the tickets. What time's our flight there, Kara?
5.
So we're going for super, super white people early for the airport.
I was thinking 5 p.m. But
I know,
okay.
super early.
Right.
It's like 7 a.m.
But
Okay. It's how far is an airport from the town we're staying at?
It's not super important, but
Whatever time.
yeah. I can arrange for our car. It would be here probably in an hour if you can wait. Sit down, have breakfast. I get you car. And you see him go off to his office and begin to make phone calls. And you guys sit down and, they start bringing you food, just like the first morning you were there. They begin to kind of make their way out to their days. Kids catching the bus, people leaving for work. And then you see, like a black SUV, much similar to the one that you came in on, roll up and Iggy comes out and helps you with your bags out to the vehicle. And, Iggy's not much of like a handshaker. He's a hugger. So he's got to get those big bear hugs in with all of you. And, you see Abuela come teetering out onto the porch and you see her begin to try to step down, but realize that like she's not quite sure-footed enough. So she just kind of daintily waves at you from the thing in the general direction. She's a little off. Like she's looking, she's kind of waving to one side of you, but she knows you're leaving and is trying to send you off nicely.
Hey, Bernie, I think your girlfriend's saying goodbye.
I'll wave back.
She doesn't acknowledge.
Hey, did you see that dress she's wearing? Neither did she.
Any hoozles. So the last few remaining family members, wave out windows, come out the door, wave at you as you guys pack into the car and make the ride to the airport. Is there anything you want to do before boarding the plane or on the way to the airport? Because if not, we're not going to, I'm not going to narrate airports. That's just like my own personal hell. I'm not going to do it.
No, after we get through security, like if there's like a little gift shop or whatever, or if there's somebody went to Tula and all I got was a stamped t-shirt, I'd pick one of those up.
Yeah, so there's definitely some gift shops and things like that. Not a whole lot on Tula, but there's like postcards and things like that have it on there. You can definitely find like shirts that have like they say Mexico and like all these cool
Yeah, so I'm gonna get a postcard that's got a really good picture of the Tula.
Yeah, it's like one of those overhead drone shots,
Temple. So
you get like the wide view angle. It's actually a really nice shot. It looks like it's a couple years old and kind of springtime, so it's kind of more vibrant. It's a great photo.
Okay, man, check this out. This would look damn good up on a corkboard with some red yarn going to it. With it.
I imagine you'll make that happen.
Well, I mean, it would be more like a memorial because that's already happened. It's not like an ongoing investigation. You really don't understand the pictures in the yarn thing, do you?
Not really, no.
Okay, yeah.
The conspiracy yarn and scrapbooking are but a small jump.
My conspiracy scrapbook.
Your conspiracy scrapbooks, yes. So you guys are able to get on the plane. It's a pretty, long flight, but it's not It's not a bad flight. It's not a good flight. It's a flight crammed in there. They didn't get you guys first class, which was, well, not cool. But you did get priority boarding, so.
No.
Which is nice. So.
Are our seats together, or are we like spread out across the airplane here?
Roll me a D20 or a D100.
54.
Yeah, they're spread out.
Okay.
It's a fully booked flight. You guys kind of got piecemealed. So, but yeah. All right, so you guys are able to land in Virginia. It's pretty late at night. They did get you guys some hotel accommodations kind of close to where you're going to be. I'm trying to think of a city name in Virginia.
Arlington.
Arlington. There you go. Just inside Arlington. You've never been to Alex's home. But you do know where he lives. It's, you know, privy information for you. But you guys, you know, by the time you get to the hotel, get yourself together, it's going to be 11 o'clock at night. But yeah. You're in Arlington, waiting to go see Alex. What do you want to do?
Does anyone know how to trace a phone? I'm gonna.
No.
I mean, not personally, but I got some contacts. So give me his address and his phone number. Y'all go get set up in your rooms or whatever. I'm going to go hit the hotel's business center real quick.
Okay.
So, in the business center.
Huh?
What you doing in the business center?
Okay, so I want to use one of their little computers. I'm going to pull it up and just, you know, a map site. I'm going to punch in his address. I want to get a look at, you know, the kind of the layout. Is it like a subdivision kind
gotcha.
of thing? Are these, you know, mostly colonial 2-story houses like, you know, a lot of Virginia, or is this, you know, a newer spread out ranch type subdivision? So I want to kind of get a lay of the land for where his house is at.
Okay. So his house is located on a cul-de-sac. It's in a subdivision, but it's not a tightly packed subdivision. So each house probably has about a half an acre that it sits on. It is a split-level home. Most of the homes in that area are also split-level. There's a couple ranch styles, but they seem to be probably older homes, maybe mid-70s, early 80s style homes. But it's a quiet, well-established neighborhood, older trees. Really only one exit in or out of this, this neighborhood. But nothing too out of the ordinary. It's not, like these big sprawling homes. It's not. Okay. It's basic middle class suburbia.
All right, and then I'm gonna pull up like Google Earth, try and get an aerial look. Like, does it have a fence around the backyard? Is it just chain link, or is it a privacy fence? What's that look like?
Yeah. Kara, make me a luck roll, please.
Okay.
Your room key doesn't work. Return to the front desk.
Yeah.
What'd you make?
Fumble.
A fumble?
I see a fumble face.
Okay.
That's 100.
Nice. Okay.
He knows we're trying to trace the phone, and I'm gonna get a photo of another finger.
No. So you pull up the Google Earth of the home, which is like a standing picture, and you can see it's kind of the middle of the day, and it's you go down to the street view, on the Google car, and what you see is the picture of the home. It does have a fence around the backyard. It's got a garage. There's a man out front who's working on some lawn
shrubberies.
care. Yeah, shrubberies. And then there's a woman who's pointing up at the roof. And when you look at the roof, there stands a young man, really unkempt, but he is hastily drilling a large satellite into this thing. But the still shot has been taken just as you see the satellite beginning to tip. And that is the still frame shot of his home. And when you go to like, you can turn it and you kind of get like the next chunk, you can see that it's like the satellite is like mid-fall. And then as you turn a little, you see just the corner of the shrubbery that the father is pruning just being absolutely crushed by this satellite dish that he's putting up. But yes, they seem to have pretty
Is there
average
any
home.
indication from the Google Street View of how old that photo is?
Yeah, it's about 8 months old.
Okay. So I'll pull out my little spiral bound, flips at the top notebook out of my pocket. I'm going to be making some notes. Like, probably going to be a satellite dish up there because he doesn't seem like the kind of kid that would give up just after one time. He's had 8 months to figure out how to do this. So the next thing I would like to do is either by pulling up public access county or city records, see if I can find like a blueprint for the house. I don't have a big hopes for this. So if that doesn't work, I'm going to pull up like Zillow and I'm going to see if I can find a listing on it and tell me whether or not this thing has a basement, how many bedrooms, that kind of thing.
So I want you to make me a library use for checking public records.
Poof, you're a library
God.
use for checking public records.
I told myself this morning, I was like, I am not
My
going to
library
say it.
use is really bad.
You have great friends that are good at it.
That was a failure.
Might I suggest, with your law background, it may be possible that a lolly, a more...
Well, he's right. I mean, there's, construction permits, there's city ordinances, so if you want to go the route of looking into the ordinances and construction permits that they got, it might give you some, but you're not getting like architectural blueprints.
Yeah, I think I would like to, thanks, by the way.
That's what
Thinking about different aspects of the law, hey, did they ever do an addition? I could check for building permits. Maybe there are code violations.
Yeah.
So
Make me a law roll. Doing it. Roll a roll. I'm going to do it right.
66 over 45.
Okay. So you do find a couple things, but they don't seem to be too far. You do find where they had like an addition of like a sunroom off the back at one point. There does seem to be a notation of some kind of violation, but it's past the point of public access. It just notes that there was some kind of building violation done about 6 months ago.
Probably an unauthorized satellite dish.
Probably. But yeah, you're not getting too much.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go the Zillow route, Home Trader, any of those things where I don't expect I'm going to find drawings, but I'll find a description of, hey, this house has got a finished basement, 2,300 square feet, yada, yada.
Maybe enough pictures you can put together. Okay, it's got one bedroom here, one bedroom over there. That's clearly an unfinished basement, yada, yada.
So here's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to tell you ahead of time because you're going to be not happy. I'm going to ask you to make a luck roll. But here's the thing. If you succeed, then you will find listings of this home. If you fail, you will find similar homes in that subdivision.
I'm cool with that because I know that contracting companies,
Kind of
they got like
copy-paste.
5 damn layouts and then they just start
So
interspersing.
you'd be able to, kind of get an idea of the general thing. If you fail, if you succeed, you're going to get a more concrete answer. Does that make sense?
17 under 22.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
That would have been a failure before
you're
investigator development.
Yeah. So, as luck would have it,
Literally.
apparently they bought this home not too long ago, or they had it up for sale or something. There was it was up on the site at one point, so there are actually pictures of the interior of the home. So you can see that there's like a nice foyer, and then there's a kitchen in the split level. There's stairs going up that lead to 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. And then there's stairs going down that lead to a finished basement, and there's a half bath down there. It appears that in the finished basement area, there's also a almost like a root storage room off to one side that is under the split level of the house. So it does go down a little further. It would be more of a basement, but it's unfinished as far as the last time these pictures were taken. Think like, concrete wall, posts.
Like a little utility room.
Very similar to a utility room, but it has like shelving and things like that. And it was being listed as like cold storage, that kind of thing. It appears that when in the pictures of the lower downstairs, there do seem to be several workstations set up. There's like cabinetry built in and desks built into one wall. The other wall has like table and chairs set up and things like that. You're not seeing a lot of computers or things like that, but it does seem to be geared towards either a den or a office area. The downstairs.
The lower level.
Yes.
Yep, gotcha. All right, so I'm going to...
Oh, and there's one exit out to the backyard through the kitchen at the main level.
Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
So I'm going to hope that Statham Corp doesn't pay a whole lot of attention to, expense reports and everything. Since they booked this hotel, it's on their credit card. And so charging it to my room, I'm going to start printing out pictures that they had in the Zillow listing, the different bedrooms in the kitchen and the view out the back, all of that kind of stuff. Also, I'm going to look on there because a lot of times those types of, home buying, home evaluation websites will give you a rundown of like the last 12 months of electric bills.
Okay.
And so I want to see, one, have the last, is the last month's electric bills consistent with everything else?
Okay.
Then I also think I want to compare that electric bill to, like, say, looking up the next door neighbor's house. Because I suspect this kid probably is burning a lot of electricity if he's got this super duper whiz bang setup.
Yeah. So, yeah, it does have a list of kind of, average utility ratings for this home. It does show the list above average for most of the last months. The most current month, it lists as average. If you look at a similar home, maybe not in this subdivision, but in the next one over, they usually list at either at or below average. Given the area, they're prone to upgrades and higher efficiency things, but this one does tend to run above average. It doesn't, it's like a paid wall, to see like actual numbers. They just kind of give you an average rating.
Okay, then I want to take Alex's full name and punch it into a Google search, specifically looking for newspaper type things. I'm wondering, and I'm just looking at the last week or so. It's been about a week, 2 weeks since he...
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah. So in the most recent past, looking to see if there was any report of a missing person, if his parents apparently lived there with him, if they've reported anything.
Okay. So you do a quick Google search of him. You find some older, young man graduates from blah, 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 local, helps with this, blah, blah, blah. Nothing too recent. It does, however, Google searches kind of give you pertinent information around it. It does bring up that his father owns a lot of land in the area. His father's like a real estate kind of guy. I guess he just owns, and he's like a landlord for several different homes. So he works in his home. He does not have like a proper desk job. But it does talk about, local landowner donates X amount of acreage to local schools to use as farming land for teaching children, blah, blah, blah. So that comes up as part of your related search.
Okay.
You also,
I must have been pissed about the shrubberies because the drop in
value
of the house just from that. But.
you do see that there is a mention of Alex's name in a website that is some kind of subscription-based streaming service. But it's not like free access. Like, you have to have a membership to watch the streams. We're not talking, dirty streams. It's just like, think Skillshare. Where people like teach things and you have to have a membership to view the content. But his name does pop up as, check out this creator.
Okay. I'm going to make a note of that. Then I'd like to make a phone call to the night desk at Precinct 72 in New York City.
Okay.
My precinct. Now, this is a little dangerous because given the amount of time we've been here, I believe that my paid administrative leave because of the complaint against me has probably passed. So now I'm probably a week or so into where the hell is Nathan?
Yeah.
Why hasn't Nathaniel shown back up?
Yeah.
But I'm going to make a call and hope that I recognize the voice that picks up.
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Sorry, I was gearing up my voice.
Okay.
Police department, this is Gladys.
I swear to God, had you not said that, and you just said hello to the police department, I was going to say Gladys. I swear to God, right before you said the word.
Well, I feel like any desk
Right,
night
it's
clerk
Gladys.
has to be Gladys.
Gladys, is that you?
That's what I just said.
Gladys, come on now. This is Nate. You recognize my voice. Nate Young.
Oh, yeah.
Detective Nate.
Yeah, Mr. Nate. I remember you.
Oh, man, you sound like your normal chipper self.
I'm always a delight.
You are. We really got to get together for that drink after work sometime, like we talked about.
Did you need something?
Hey, yeah, I did. I didn't want to jump right into business because you're such a joy to talk to. But, geez, look, hey, I got this number. I'm working this case. It's taking me all the way out, tracing some crazy leads. I'm all the way out down here in Virginia, for crying out loud. And you think it sucks up in New York this time of year, you ought to be in Virginia. Muggy. Let me tell you. Anyway, here's the number. Write this down. 555-271-3244. And
Okay,
that's kind of a 555.
5. What was the next one?
5.
Okay. So one second. And you hear like, Mr. Young, I show that you are very, very late for work.
Yeah, that's what the records are going to show. I've been undercover for like the last 2 months. Your records probably still show something like I've been on paid administrative leave or something. I'm deep undercover right now. Gladys, you're my only lifeline right now. I got to get this information or shit's going to get hairy.
Look.
Come on, Gladys. There's a box of donuts and hot chocolate and a drink with me in this for you.
Take out the drink with you and I'll help.
That hurts me to my soul, Gladys, but okay. A box of chocolates and whatever else I said. Coffee, hot chocolate.
Donuts.
Box of donuts, hot chocolate. Right. Here's the number, 555-321-7324.
And what information?
You can rewind this and find out if I did that number
right.
this time. I'm sure I did.
What information were you wanting?
Yeah, I just want to know if you can put a trace on that thing. I want to know, if it's on where it's currently located, if you can triangulate it. I know you're going to have to just call the special office there of the cell phone companies. They can work with you fast on these things if you just tell them it is Priority C, New York City Police Detectives.
Make persuasion roll.
And damn it, you do it right now.
Going for intimidate?
I'm trying, yes.
Okay.
007. Under a 65. That would have made it under the other one, too. That is an extreme success.
Should have kept it a persuasion.
Should have. Wouldn't have been an extreme under
Don't
persuasion.
forget to check it off.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all did not do a good job with that last time. Okay, keep your pants on. All right.
Find out where it's at, and if it's not on right now, just find out when the last time it was used.
Okay. Keep your voice down. No need to yell.
My voice is down because I got bad guys all around me. I'm deep undercover, guys. You're going to get a commendation for this.
I'd take a week in Cabo. Anywho, so it looks like the phone is still active. About 50 miles from your location, not too far, just outside of Arlington.
Okay, great. So hey, look down at your phone. You see the number I'm calling from here. So just text me that location. Shoot it over to me on my cell phone.
I'd prefer to fax.
Okay, 1 second. I start looking around. I find the fax machine. Hopefully the number is like on a little label maker thing on there, and I come back and I give her the...
You guys go through about a 10-minute process of her, like, did it come through? And you're like, no, we'll try it now.
Did you use a cover sheet? Oh, jeez.
Oh my, we're going to have to start over. Okay, back to the beginning. And you guys go through this and it's getting very exasperating. But eventually you do get a fax location that has like coordinates, and the last update time was about 12 hours ago. Like it only cycles so often. And there's, a lovely map where, it's actually just on the other side of a river.
That would be the Potomac.
Yeah, a river called the Potomac. These are things that I know as the keeper.
So it's in Maryland?
Yeah, it's over in... And y'all don't quote me on the mileage here, okay? Don't be like that. It's just on the other side of the Potomac, near Hillcrest Heights.
Got it.
A large piece of land.
Gladys, you're a credit to the uniform. Protect and serve, and you've done both tonight. Look, I'm definitely going to put you in for the accommodation, and I'll talk to the bosses about the Cabo thing. But you can guarantee the donuts are coming.
Oh, well, is there anything else you need? I'm missing my show.
No, just have a great night there, Gladys. I appreciate you. Oh, jeez, they're getting close. I gotta go.
Okay, goodbye. It's not lost on Gladys that the bad guys are chasing you and you had that close access to a fax machine. It's not lost on her. She's like, is he being chased in like a Kinko's?
I snuck into the back office of this underground casino.
Oh, yeah.
This all makes perfect sense. Gladys is smart enough to figure out that there's something up. She's also ambivalent enough to have forgotten about it by tomorrow.
Yeah. It's like she understands it's pressing. She doesn't care either way what happens at this point. Like, it's off her back. She doesn't give a shit. But it's like, if I don't do it and he dies, that's so much paperwork.
All right, so I'm going to collect my facts. I'm going to collect my printouts.
Okay.
And grab it all up and...
Hey, thanks for the clutch map there, my guy.
I realized at some point that you probably had never heard of Arlington before.
Nope.
So
I've heard of it, but I had no context as to.
And I also did not want you to accidentally put him in the Pentagon somehow.
That's a thing I probably could have done. Yeah. So I appreciate that because I was floundering. I was like, it's a place near you. That's as much as I've got.
All right, so.
Now we got a whole ass location, Hillcrest Heights. See, look at us evolving, rolling with the punches.
I got 2 locations. I got his house and I got somewhere in Hillcrest Heights. Yeah, so I'm going to go upstairs to my room.
Okay. So before you go any further, I want to check in with them and see what they've been doing while you've been away. All right, Bernard, Cara, what have you been doing?
I would probably have been chatting with Kara and trying to see if there was an angle where I would have been useful in all this somehow. Like, Kara, so what does Alex have, like, a job, or was he mainly like a stay-at-home kind of guy?
He was a stay-at-home kind of guy, but he did jobs that I tried not to involve myself with.
Okay.
He would be what you would call gray hat. He took the jobs as they came.
He preferred freelancer.
So he didn't necessarily, like, go into an office or anything?
No. He lives in his parents' basements.
Did he have...
Basement? Okay.
Basement's a stretch. It's the downstairs of a split level.
Yeah.
But it does have its own door.
But being who you are and from the circles you were from, it probably would have been like, oh, it's a basement because...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're bougie.
So he didn't really go out for work. Was there anything else that got him out of the house? Was he, like, in a sports league or...
Oh, no.
No?
Rocket League. There's only sport he played. It's Forza.
He was part of a
Esports.
Quidditch
It's in the
team.
Yeah.
Have you seen those, like,
Magic the
Quidditch teams
Gathering.
that yeah, those. Yeah.
I have watched the people who do real life Quidditch. It's really, really funny.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Have you watched real life hobby horse competitions? Sorry.
I won't watch a football game, but you got people like doing the stupidest thing. I'm like riveted.
Anyway.
This is fantastic. Okay, sorry. Back on track.
While Nate is doing his thing, is there anything we could do to try to figure out something?
I don't know. I am.
Now,
more
Cara,
at
just for a
home
little,
in a-
just a little refresher. There's you have not shared with them a ton of information as to what you've received so far. Like I think they only have like a very basic gist as to what's going on with him.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since
At
I
this
ruined your
point,
day.
I'm gonna hand over the phone and let him see the messages.
Yeah. So you see messages.
After we saw in the temple, a severed finger is gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I think so. It's nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna let him see the correspondence.
I mean, it
Catch him up on
probably
the phone calls.
still would be a Sandy roll. I would think. I'm open to a Sandy roll.
I don't think so. I mean, you were already pre-aware that he's in danger. She's told you like some shit's been happening to him. Seeing the severed finger, like you watch yourself being sucked into stone through the eyes of a servant. I think you're okay with the severed finger.
Okay.
And you deal with bones all the time.
Wow,
Less
that's
fleshy, but
that's something there. I wonder what he did to get on that list.
Right.
Do you think it's related to something he was doing as Alex the Grey, or something he was doing involved with us?
The last I heard from him was when we were in Egypt, and I told him to get any sort of tracing on Nafram in the area.
So probably...
So, I think I pushed him too hard and he got caught.
Okay. Is there anything on
But
our end we could look into as far as how Nafram might have gotten things from you? Like with your people, our people? Make a few calls maybe and see if there's... Do you have any other people in the chair now, or was he the only one?
he's the only one I had.
Okay. Well, do you want to go check out wherever you played Magic at?
Honestly. Sure. Would I know? Would I have cared enough to know?
My gut reaction is probably no.
That's mine too.
I'm not going to impose my will upon you. You can choose to negate this, but in my head, it's like, he's that friend you only call when you have a problem. You know, you don't ever, like, reach out to him when, like, just to chat. It's always like, hey, I need something, and this is the person I call.
Yeah.
So when it comes to his personal life, like, you're not super invested in it. But you don't have to be that. You can be his best friend if you'd like to. It's just, that's the vibe I get.
Same. Like, this is a transactional call. Like
maybe
you give
he's
me some info.
Yeah, maybe he's expressed interest in you before, and like you've put him so far into the friend zone that you're like barely even friends anymore. Like,
yeah.
Like,
we can look up where Magic the Gathering stuff happens. I wouldn't know where.
There are 42 hits. Arlington's a big place.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should just wait around and be available for when Nate gets back.
Sounds good.
Nate's back.
Nate's back!
Are we all in the same hotel room?
No, you guys have connecting.
So me and Bernie here got to share a room?
Well, I mean, you guys can choose to do it differently, but you guys have 2 connecting rooms with 2 queen beds.
So me and Bernie here are sharing a room. All right, well, I'm gonna open up the door to our room. I guess I immediately see that the connector is open. Are you guys in this room or the other room?
This one.
Yeah.
Also, Bernard strikes me as the kind of person who wouldn't want to go into her hotel room, like, because it would be too invasive. Like, he would feel awkward about it. Like, he's a true gentleman.
Okay. All right, who's got some tape? I need some tape. Who's got
I don't have
bubble
any
gum, something?
tape, but we could go to the CVS on the corner, I guess.
No, this will work. Just get off the bed. Get off the bed. Move that suitcase. All right, and then I'm going to start laying out the pictures of the house, kind of in the relationship of the floor plan as I surmised it from these pictures. All right, so this is his house. He probably does his work down here. Interesting thing with a satellite dish, but that's not important right now. Anybody got any? Damn it! I really got to get a ball of yarn just to keep with me. And then I'm going to take the fax and I'm going to put it over in an opposite corner of the beds. See, this is where some string would be really useful. I was gonna lay out everything. All right.
What time of year is it?
It's August.
Okay, Kara's gonna go to her suitcase and pull out a sweater, like
Knitted?
knitted sweater, like brand name, like probably cost her like $1,000 just for that sweater, and she's gonna cut it up and like unravel it to give him string.
This is perfect. Okay. All right.
Nate has no idea about brand names. He's like, it's just a sweater.
Yeah.
I would start unraveling. All right. So this is his house. This is the layout here. You can see the backyard fenced in. If he was forcibly taken from the house, they probably had to come through the front door. This is how I can tell you his parents lived there, or at least 8 months ago they did. And I'm not sure, but there's probably a satellite dish on top of the house. Now, over here, I was able to get a search on his phone, and as of about 12 hours ago, this is his location, right across the river in Maryland. That's where the phone is.
He's there right now.
His phone was there 12 hours ago.
They could have turned it off and it's not connecting to any towers, but that seems like the place we would want to go here.
I think first we go to the house. We might get some idea of who we're dealing with by seeing what they did in that house.
Okay. You're the detective. We'll follow your lead.
see what the parents know. I really didn't see anything about missing persons report. I couldn't, of course, get into the Arlington Police Department database, but there was nothing in the newspapers, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So he may not have been taken from the house. He may have just gone out on a joyride. Kids these days needs a little time away from his parents, right?
Uh-huh. And then Kara's just gonna like slide the phone to him because the last thing up is still that picture, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was the last thing that was
Okay, here's what I'm going to need you to do. First, cut off another piece of string. And second, go down to the business center and print this out. I need to lay this on the bed. All right, okay, so still don't know that he was taken from the home, but based on what you've told me, what I'm seeing here, I think he spends most of his time there. It's a good, safe bet. Plus, the parents may know something. They may have seen something that they don't even know is important. Trust me, this is how they work.
Okay. Here's the thing. It's been, what, 2 weeks since this has happened?
Since the first time you realized he was missing, about 2 weeks. I think from the severed finger, about a week.
Okay.
I'm just guessing.
2 weeks and no missing person report. Nothing in the paper, local man missing.
His parents may think he is just grinding World of Warcraft for
They may
a
not realize he hasn't
legendary.
left the basement.
Yeah.
They would have noticed the severe dip in Cheeto usage. They would have noticed this.
Mom, I want pizza rolls.
Look,
Little Alex hasn't eaten a Dorito in years.
So,
well, you guys need to be prepared for anything because based on those two pieces, he's been gone for about 2 weeks. There's been no reports. We may get there and find a couple of dead parents.
for a,
And it's going to stink. 2 weeks, heat of the summer.
whoever took him does not want to be contacted, but they have kept his phone on and charged for 2 weeks. So it almost feels like a trap and that we should be prepared when we go. This isn't just a run-of-the-mill
So they've
kidnapping.
sent you these pictures, but they haven't made any demands from you? No ransom, no money, no information?
No.
A storm brews outside your hotel window.
All right, it's late at night. Let's get some sleep on this. I say first thing in the morning we get to the parents' house. We find out what we can find there, and then we head across the river.
Sounds good.
All right. You guys
And
can-
I'm going to flop down on the bed that's not covered with shit.
Okay. So it's the next morning. You're in your hotel room. Bernard, how'd you sleep?
Great. Like a baby.
On the bed with all the pictures?
On the floor, under the desk.
Jesus.
It's like,
I feel like Cara would have offered him the other bed.
Okay.
I don't know
Bernard,
if he
I
would've
feel like
taken
Bernard
it,
would have
but-
turned it down.
that's really up to
Probably
Bernard.
slept like a baby or a college kid in the carols at the library,
Yeah.
an all-nighter.
All right.
He's an archaeologist, so he's slept in some not so savory conditions on cots and crates and random places, so it didn't bother him.
Yeah.
All right, so when we get up, I'm going to go over to the bed. I'm going to look at my master work here for a minute, and then I'm going to start carefully picking the pictures up in a particular order so I can pack them up. And even though they're probably not paying any attention to it, without looking back, I'm going to throw one hand up and say, don't let me do this. It's got to be done in a certain order.
And they're all like, what? What was happening? Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn my murder board into a murder book.
Okay.
Okay, it's a kidnap board.
And then you're going to motorboat it.
That's how you get a paper cut.
So carefully pack all that stuff up.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do a quick check on my equipment, my weapons, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yep. All good things to do.
It's funny how we got these as I'm cleaning and readying the weapon. It's funny how we got these through the airport security. Mexico's real slack.
And the trick is just don't put them in your carry-on.
Don't look behind the curtain. It's fine.
Didn't we take a Statham-owned jet to Mexico?
You did.
Yeah.
And then flew coach
Then
back.
flew coach to America. Don't call out my plot holes, okay? Just leave them be.
Well, I'm sure the jet, while we were there, had to go off and do other things.
Like
for
jet-like
Statham.
things. It has some jet responsibilities.
Kara's sitting first class and just like glancing back to the back of the plane where
Like,
we're just
could
like,
she pay the
peasants.
upgrade fee?
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. So what's your itinerary? Where you headed now?
We are headed to Alex's home
Okay. Okay.
on the cul-de-sac.
So you guys can get into your rental car. Roll me a D100, please. I'll tell you what kind of rental car you got.
oh,
It's an Oldsmobile,
What'd you roll?
88.
I was gonna say it was like a Taurus, like a.
The Oldsmobile 88 was a model back in
That's
the
true.
day. So.
Yeah, it's not the nicest rental car. It's seen better days.
That's all right. It'll fit in.
Yeah, you get
You know, I wanted the black SUV. You know, we needed to drive up somewhere, look intimidating, but now we kind of need to blend in. So,
I got you. Yeah. So it's not too long of a drive to the parents' home. You guys arrive. You already staked out, the location, so you know how to get there. No problem. And there are 2 cars parked in the driveway. 2 nicer, newer vehicles that are parked there. There is a satellite dish on the roof, as you predicted. It seems like a pleasant suburbia morning. People cutting grass.
what does this lawn and shrubbery look like? Does it look well kept, or does it look like it's about 2 weeks away from a cutting?
It's looking a little ragged.
Does the bush look like it had a satellite fall on it?
No.
Is there a stake in the bush?
No. And I will not let you roll to find out.
Smart. Learn from my mistakes.
will.
That's all you want from your kids. Just don't make the same mistakes I
The
did.
same ones. Make different ones. At least be interesting.
But you do
Better
like
than
how I asked a question that the answer was yes, and then
Yeah. You led me down the path. No, the grass is getting a little high. The bushes are decently well kept. They could use a bit of a trim on top, but they're still well within manicured. Yeah.
Hey, so I don't think I told you guys this, but as I was looking through newspaper articles looking for something about Alex, I found quite a few Google hits for his father. Big real estate dude in these parts, owns a lot of properties, some residential rent outs, some commercial. But, one picture that I saw on Google Streets, this man cared about his lawn. Plus, being a real estate guy, he knows the importance of curb appeal and keeping it up. So this wouldn't happen. So I'm just preparing you for what we might find in this house.
is there a sidewalk?
There is. Goes from the driveway up to the front steps.
What does it smell like?
The sidewalk or like the air in general?
Just in general.
Well, there's a couple neighbors out who are cutting their grass, so you got a lot of the smell of fresh cut grass. And, basic suburbia. Nothing offensive or otherwise obnoxious for you.
Hey, it could be they're just despondent over their missing son and they're not doing normal upkeep. Let's go ring the doorbell.
Before we do, did you happen to get a list of the properties?
Like, of all of his properties?
That he owns?
I didn't. That's why you should be with me when I do these things. We could have... And I'm thinking back to that night that Bernard and I spent in the library at Statham's. Why didn't I think to trace back his properties and see if there was a Nafram connection?
Or possibly if the place the phone popped up at was one of his properties, because that would indicate...
Hey, Karen, remind me, next time I go to the business center, Bernard comes with.
Gotcha.
Noted.
Damn it.
Well, let's just go check this out. See what it do.
Yeah. All right. Gonna go up to the front door.
Okay.
Side light?
Um,
You know, those glass panels that runs alongside the door, or glass in the door.
So it's got both. It's got small, like, side glass. It's that frosted style for privacy. And it's got, like, a mahogany door with, like, the half circle cut out at the top. Kind of that stained glass feel where it's got the, like, seams running through it. Yeah.
All right. Probably futile, but I'm going to take a quick look inside.
Okay. Make me a spot hidden roll.
Poof.
All of you make me a listen roll. I'm not even trying to fight it today. I'm done. I'll be all the rolls.
Spot hidden was a success. Why am I doing it that way?
I was wondering why you switched to physical dice.
I don't know. And the listen was an extreme success. The spot hidden was a regular success.
Okay. What did you guys get on your listens?
My listen was a fail.
Mine too.
Okay. So you got an extreme success on your listen?
Yes.
So with the spot hidden, you look inside and you can see inside to some degree. You can see there's a couple lights on down, like up the stairs to the hall, and in the kitchen to your left. You don't see any movement per se or anything out of the ordinary, but you can see to some degree inside. For your listen roll, you hear water running. And because you got an extreme success, it sounds like it's coming from the kitchen.
And you know the question I was about to ask.
Because I'm smart.
Okay. Ding dong.
Yeah. So they don't have like a normal ding dong that goes like do 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 do. Like it's a little fancy. No response seems after a few minutes.
I will knock on the door.
Yeah, no response.
So I think I'm going to step away from the door, turn my back to the door, looking out to the neighborhood, and kind of saying, kind of under my breath, Kara, you want to have a go at this doorknob?
You want to...
Yeah,
I'm
I
going to
do.
take a quick walk around and see if anything's been obviously forcibly entered.
Okay. Are you trying to fly casually?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, I don't want to take a chance at this door.
You don't? Or you do?
Her taking a chance at the door was going to throw her shoulder into it.
Oh, I thought you had lockpick.
I have a 1 in lockpick.
Okay.
Twinsies.
For some reason, I thought you were good at that.
So she's like gonna get ready to like throw her shoulder and then like sees.
And then she's like, "Oh wait, not the
vibe." What?
All right, so
Okay, I guess we'll walk through an open window.
all right, I've got a lockpick set and a little bit in lockpick.
You have a
so
lockpick set, so I'll let you roll with advantage.
So Kara, just I don't know, kind of shield me a little bit. All right.
So you roll that, Bernard. You can roll a spot hidden. What?
Oh, that's impressive.
I rolled a 48 over 11 on the locksmith, and then with the bonus dice rolled a 0, which makes it an 8 under 11.
Epic. Okay, I'll be right back to you.
Fail.
Fail. Yeah, so as you're trying to fly casually, as it were, you're making note, but you're not seeing anything that's sticking out. But you're also trying to not, just be like walking around the house and like looking in windows and looking like a creeper. You're trying to fly a little casually. For the lockpicking skill, you realize this is a pretty simple standard house lock. Nothing really too obnoxious about it. But as you go to try to pick it, you realize it's not locked.
Well, I'm not going to let the others know that.
Okay.
I'm going to look back
Like
at her and go, ta-da, and turn the knob and push it open.
Very nice.
He still gets to check it off, though, right?
He does, yeah. I mean, he still succeeded. Had it been locked, he'd have shown that lock.
I love how I'm gonna throw my shoulder into it. He's gonna pick it.
Not locked. You've learned nothing from years of playing D&D.
All right. Hey, get Bernard. Let's get inside before we draw any attention. And I'm gonna take a half step in and go, "Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Alex's parents," because somewhere in my notebook I forgot to write down his last name.
I believe from your murder board, the name was Balenciaga.
No, it was not. I was going to let him canon make a name. It's not going to be that.
No, I can see the mistake. Balenciaga was the model of the fax machine, and it prints its information out at the bottom of the cover page.
Kara, what's Alex's last name?
Elliot.
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Elliot. Hello.
You don't hear anything.
All right, so in my mind,
Besides
it's
the
a
water.
small foyer, and then step or two inside, and to the left is a door to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. It's like an open archway leading into the kitchen. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to turn into the kitchen.
Okay. Are you two following, or are you staying outside?
I'm following.
I'll go. Yeah.
Okay. So as you all kind of turn this corner, you see a woman standing at the sink, washing dishes. The water's running, but at her feet is a large puddle of water, and the water in the sink has begun to overflow and is spilling down the front of the counter, but she is steady. You can see her elbows moving in the motion of scrubbing dishes. And there's a man sitting at the table with the newspaper propped up in front of him so you can't see his face. And the woman's back is to you.
It's robots.
Mr. and Mrs. Elliot? I'm going to kind of step into the room, stepping towards, but trying not to be threatening in any way, towards Mrs. Elliot. And I'm going to kind of reach over and push the lever down on the faucet to stop the water running. Mrs. Elliot. And kind of like lean over and try to like look at her face, make eye contact with her.
Okay. Yeah, so as you do, and you kind of look around to her face, what you see is a woman whose face is, her eyes are wide open, bloodshot, tears, not crying, but like tears of eyes that are trying to hydrate themselves, just pouring down her face as she continues to wash this dish. And as you look down, you realize she's holding this Brillo pad and she's scrubbing this dish. But this dish has thousands and thousands of scratches. And as you look, you realize that where her thumb is on the front of the plate and all of her fingers wrapped around the back, her top of her thumb is now just a sheer muscle and bone where she is constantly scrubbing this dish and scrubbing away the flesh on her hands as just tears stream down her eyes, and her eyes are fixed forward at this window. And she is just stuck in this everlasting loop of rubbing dishes.
So up to that point, I was thinking of not touching them or anything like that. I had a feeling they were sort of catatonic here, but seeing that, I think just natural reaction reflex is I reach out and grab her scrubbing hand to stop it.
Okay. You can feel that her arm is still trying to flex through that movement, but it's very weak. It is, and you can feel that her whole body is kind of half giving out in her knees, but she's managing to keep herself upright, but she seems inches away from just falling over. But she's still, you can feel that hand still trying to make that movement against your arm, and she's just vigorously staring out the window.
I'm going to pry the Brillo pad out of her hand, and then I'm going to try to back her away from the sink, but if her feet don't follow along, then I guess kind of drag her away from the sink. I'm going to try to get her to one of the other chairs at the kitchen table.
Okay. Yeah, so she does not make any attempts to stop you, but does not make any attempts to assist you. It's like moving dead weight that does not want to move. The front of her clothing is absolutely soaked and smells of mildew. And, you know, she smells of urine. Just, it's a very potent smell right there at her. But you're able to kind of drag her to one of the adjoining chairs, and sitting is not a great term, but you're kind of able to get her to where she's at least resting on the chair, but it's a very awkward, stiff, and that arm is still just...
And her legs want to stay straight like she's
standing.
They
want to, but you're able to kind of maneuver her in a way that she's propped up, at least.
All right, so somewhere in the middle of this, my training kicks back in, and I realize I've done nothing to secure and clear this place. So I'm going to reach into my back holster and pull out one of my guns. And I'm going to look over at Bernard and kind of do a head point to the man. Check him.
I'll walk over and I'll peek over the newspaper first.
What you see is a man whose eyes, much the same, bloodshot, dried out, tears of the eye ducts trying to rehydrate, just pouring down his face stuck in this expression of just severe intensity as he stares at the paper. His hands are crumpled up into this, like, arthritic pose holding this paper. You can see old blood that is coming down his hands where he has gripped this paper to the point that it's beginning to kind of create small paper cuts all in his hand. And right in front of him is like a bowl of oatmeal or something that has gone so rancid that it's now this grayish green color as he just sits there very fervently holding this newspaper, unable to move, unable to blink. Even the breath that comes out of this too is stifled. It feels like it's these like these involuntary gasps for air with a body that refuses to move.
What do you think, Nate? Some kind of possession or hypnosis?
Yeah, and I'm going to drop my voice to a whisper. Yes.
I should have made all of you roll a sanity roll. I apologize.
Okay.
I missed that bit.
So I'm guessing that means you want it now?
I would like it now. Because I forgot.
Extreme success.
Brilliant. That training kicked right in. Bernard, you're just a stone. I don't know, but you're there. Kara, how'd you do?
He watched a shaman crumple
Hard
in
success.
upon himself.
That's true. Okay, so you guys are all handling this brilliantly. Great job.
So give me 1 second. And in my mind's eye, there's another door out of the kitchen that like leads into the living room here on the main floor. So I'm going to kind of do that cop thing where, you know, kind of lean in and then come in and check in the corners. And there's nobody else cop related here, but I can't stop myself. So I at least kind of do it under my breath. Clear. And so then I move to the main hallway area, and I don't go up the stairs, but I just kind of look up them with a look and a listen, and then down the stairs to the other part. When I'm satisfied that this level is clear.
Yeah. So as far as you can see in this level, there seems to be no one else present. With the water being shut off, you're still hearing the dripping of water that's coming, cascading out, but the rest of the house is silent.
Okay. So I'll go back into the kitchen. Yeah, Bernard, what you were saying, man, like, this looks like some more of that mumbo jumbo shit. Can you fix this? I mean, you the mofo with the mojo, pull your book out and just like read one of them things again.
I mean, I could read a thing and maybe my soldier could crawl up their butt or something, but I don't know how that's helpful here. I think given enough time, maybe there's something in this book, maybe not, but probably what we should try to do now is check all the medicine cabinets in the house, see if there's anything that might put him to sleep.
All right. So I assume there's a bathroom on this level.
There's a half bath, yeah.
Not likely to be the one where they would keep medicine, but I'm going to check it.
Okay. Roll a luck roll.
That's a fail.
Yeah, it's got like a medicine cabinet, but it's got like guest toiletries in it. You know, it seems to be like a very nice guest bathroom, rarely used by the inhabitants of the house. You know, it's got like the nice decorative towels and things like that. So.
Yeah, nothing down here, but probably up in like the master bath. That's where they would, you know, like have their individual.
Let's check that out, and if nothing else, we maybe can find something in Alex's room. The hacker types are sometimes into some rad drugs.
So, as we start to walk out of the kitchen, I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to turn back, and I'm just going to go up to the man, and I'm just going to lightly tap on his face. Mr. Elliot. Mr. Elliot.
Yeah, you see the pupils kind of register. They kind of dilate for a second, but the eyes stay fixed directly ahead. But there's a registration that you can see, but it can't direct to you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Elliot, this is a little intrusive, but I think this will help, right? And I'm going to reach over and I'm going to try to close his eyelids for him.
So it's a labor. They don't want to close. They seem very much fixed. But you can pull them down for a short while. But when you let go, they just snap right back open.
Okay. All right. So we need to check upstairs.
Before we move on, I didn't ask, is there anything I maybe would recall from the book that might indicate that it would be useful here? I thought the answer would probably be no, and I didn't ask, but just in
Not
case.
without some further research, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's go check.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going upstairs.
Yeah. Kara, what are you doing? Yes, you. Kara.
Oh, yeah, I'm going upstairs. Sorry. Like, I nodded, and then, like, everything got quiet, and I was like...
Because we were waiting on your response.
Yeah. So real quick, before all three of us go upstairs, do the stairs going down end in a door?
Yes.
Is that door closed?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to go upstairs with everybody.
Okay. So upstairs there are 3 bedrooms. Seems to be like a guest bedroom. What you assume would be Alex's bedroom. It's got like gaming posters and like an unkept bed and a computer and things like that. And then the master bedroom. And then there is one full bath up here as well. It's not like a master bath. It's a shared bath, but there is a master bath.
Yeah, so as we pass by the other bedrooms, I'm going to do a quick clearing of those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking in real quick. Not go into closets or under beds, but just...
Yeah, you don't see anything of note besides, their personal effects if you wanted to search a little further, but for as far as like imminent threats, no.
Is the computer on in Alex's room when we pass?
There's a screensaver.
Let's just go. You don't want to know my thought.
Typically the case.
It's Star Trek memes.
So as we're
Lightning McQueen hentai.
Yeah, there you go.
as we're walking... You're right. As we were walking to the master bedroom, I'm just going to say to both of them, I don't know. It's more of that supernatural shit that's been going on ever since freaking Morocco, and they're under some kind of spell, right?
I think so. Like, looking at them reminds me of the stone soldiers. Like, something is controlling them the way that I was able to control the soldiers. And plus, with the people getting put into the soldiers, like, there's got to be a way to take somebody out or put somebody in. I don't know. It seemed that was the first thing I thought of when I saw them doing what they were doing. Just something must be in
they're
them
just as stuck,
compelling
right?
them.
The stone's invisible, but they're just as stuck as all those people in that wall.
Yeah.
Right. Going into the master bedroom, bathroom, and opening up the medicine cabinet, looking for things that are depressant in nature. Also, just because I thought of it, is there any Visine?
Yes. There's also some various, aspirin, ibuprofen, things like that.
I mean, the wife of a wealthy
Horse tranquilizers.
There's some Xanax in this thing.
Yeah, there probably is a little bit. There also seems to be
somewhere is Alex's anxiety medication.
Yeah, so there's a plethora of things. There also seems to be a sharps container.
Okay.
What other kind of sharps are there around here?
So there does seem to be, maybe under the sink, a box of sterile, prepackaged, individually packaged syringes, very akin to what you'd use for any kind of injection or, insulin, any injectable type thing. Yeah, there seems to be a stock of that, and like alcohol swabs, like somebody takes some kind of intravenous or intramuscular medication in this house.
Are there any liquid bottles?
No.
Hold on, Nate. I'm going to go see if they're keeping anything in the fridge that may need to be refrigerated.
No, that's a good call there. I have a feeling somebody in this house is diabetic, but maybe it's something.
Maybe.
Yeah. So in the fridge, you do find like a small container that holds like individual bottles of insulin. In the container is like a prescribed portion, I guess, of insulin made out to Alex Elliott.
Holy shit. Your boy's been without his medicine for so look, if we're going from here to go find this kid, we gotta get this to him too. So I'm gonna go upstairs, I'm gonna grab some of those syringes, grab some of these things, and I don't know, there's probably a cooler in the garage or something. And then we got to check downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So no sleep aids or anything?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to limit you. I mean, if you were going and looking for like narcotics, no, but there are, there's maybe like a Xanax or Ambiens or, any number of things that you could in the right amount
Tylenol
of dosage.
PM.
Yeah, in the right dosage that would do the job. Yeah. I
So-
imagine that any household would have that.
And they're breathing, right?
It's sparse, but yes, they're breathing.
Are there any straws in the drawers or?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take an Ambien and chop it up
It's gone really off the rails.
and put
The
it in a
rails.
straw and like blow it into each of their noses.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna give him some Visine. I'm gonna find some Scotch tape in the junk drawer in the kitchen because there's
There's a junk drawer.
and I am going to tape their eyes shut
Okay.
because I don't know, in my head it's just like they're gonna go blind if they're not able to blink. Right, the eye damage is gonna be horrific, and I don't know why it's bugging me so much that they can't close their eyes, but it's bugging the shit out of Nate, and he is gonna fix that for
Right.
him.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you guys are able to make them snort like a Xanax and tape their eyes shut. These poor people have been through so much.
There's a content warning you hadn't had to put on our VODs before.
Nasal drug use.
I meant the Visine, but okay, yeah, that too.
Well, we don't want them to choke on it.
Right. No, I see what you're doing there. All right. So we'll leave the insulin in the refrigerator for right now. Let's go check downstairs, and then when we get ready to leave, see if we can't find a cooler or something.
Okay. So, you guys are going to head downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is a door leading into the downstairs area, which I'm going to assume you guys open. Okay. As you open the door, you do see the setup very similar to what you saw in the picture, where there's like a built-in desk and cabinetry, but this has kind of evolved into a much more cluttered space. There seems to be several computer stations set up kind of in this like U shape, where a person sitting could be rolling between stations pretty quickly. On one wall there seems to be all this like electronics and radios and different computer things that I don't know the names of that are all interhooked with all these different wires. There's a chair in the middle of the U-shaped desk that is toppled over, and there are several screens that are lighting up red with these big flashing, access denied, access denied, access denied, and one screen that says access granted, and we're going to take our leave there.
Nice. Nice stopping point. I have so many questions and so many things I want to do.
Okay.
I secretly hope that the kidnapper's Dave Grohl.
Why?
It'd be funny.
Just out of nowhere, Dave Grohl. Not a reason, because you said this one thing.
Well, he's been in a horror movie.
Yeah, he has.
It'd be perfect.
And we are in Arlington, Virginia, his hometown, almost.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it would be like perfection if he was there, but it would be Nirvana.
God damn it. I knew it was coming. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was coming. I felt it in my bones. No. Take it back. Okay, guys. We have been Percentile Vice. This has been our homebrew campaign of Children of Cthulhu with the as of right now, unnamed chapter, because I am a procrastinator and didn't come up with a chapter name because I didn't know what y'all were doing, to be fair.
The name of this chapter is Side Quest.
Side
Quest, Alex. Side Quest Alex.
Nice. I have been joined by Steve and Hannah and John, and we will see you guys next time. Be sure to hit like and subscribe and follow and any of the other buttons. I don't know what all of them are, but go do those things. If you're not caught up, go get caught up, because we got some really cool stuff coming up. If you guys ever get to the things that I did plan, because I didn't plan any of today. So
sounds a little passive aggressive there, Em.
No, I just mean that I apparently planned the wrong things.
Well, you should have never told us Alex was in danger. You should have expected us to wait 2 weeks to do something about it.
Yeah, you should have planned this shit 2 weeks ago. What the hell?
Damn it. You're right. I should have.
That was a lot of fun, Em. Thanks.
You're welcome. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.